Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV. On This Is Exclusive tonight on the show, we have two big stories we're coming to you live with. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a massacre, some are calling it genocide in Sudan. Hundreds of people, thousands of people, in fact, according to some reports, being killed, massacred. And we have an Indian who's stuck there. And a disturbing video of an Indian from Odisha, stuck in Sudan. He's been captured by the terrorists there, and we have that video on the show. His wife is joining us live as we fight to bring him back. Our focus on that and the trophy chores in Pakistan. More details on how they're trying to dodge the ICC. Here are the headlines on This Is Exclusive. As ED attaches Anil Ambani's assets, speculation over his whereabouts and whether he could be arrested. One of India's largest automobile companies, TVS, revives UK's Norton, reveals 4 global models in Milan, a proud moment for India.
मेरे कहने का मतलब कि राम मंदिर बनाना जरूरी है, बट क्या अस्पताल बनाना जरूरी नहीं है? हाँ? रोजी रोजगार जरूरी नहीं है? रोजी रोजगार के लिए ट्रम्प को वोट करने जाएंगे हम? भगवान दिल में होता है, श्रद्धा में होता है, मंदिर में सिर्फ एक मूर्ति होती है.
Temple becomes the focus once again in Bihar ahead of elections. RJD asking the need for temples. Another big legal victory for Republic TV editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami. Delhi High Court quashes summons issued against him in a defamation case filed on the coverage of JNU. Ladies and gentlemen, on top of 7 p.m, we're getting you a story from Sudan. Imagine a father clutching his phone, replaying the same 30-second video again and again. His only son, Adarsh Behera, sitting on the floor, hands folded in desperation, begging for help from a war zone 6,000 kilometers away. He leaves home in 2022 with a promise to support his family. He goes to Sudan. But Adarsh's life today hangs in the balance after he was kidnapped in Sudan war zone. The Odisha government has written to the Ministry of External Affairs. Diplomats are moving, they're trying their best. But in a country where cities are burning and millions have fled, conservative estimates saying that thousands of people have been massacred. An Indian is trapped. And tonight we get you the full story of Adarsh Behera. And then we have his family member joining us live and someone who served as the ambassador in Sudan also on the show tonight. Here's his story first up.
In the midst of Sudan's brutal civil war, an ordinary Indian worker has become a victim. Adarsh Behera, a 36-year-old from Odisha's Jagatsinghpur district, was abducted last week by the Rapid Support Forces in Fashir, about 1,000 kilometers from the capital Khartoum.
Now I am safety is good, no problem now. Asma, I am good. You in Sudan strong. Sudan is very critical now. No good, no safety now.
Behera had been working at Sukarati plastic factory in Sudan since 2022, supporting his family as the sole breadwinner. But now, he's caught in a conflict that has killed thousands and displaced millions.
Adarsh Behera, जिला जगतसिंहपुर ओडिशा रो अगेन 2 वर्ष है सुडान रे फसी जाई सुडान अल्फासिर रे मो अछि एबे एठिकार परिस्थिति बहुत खराब मो 2 वर्ष है बहुत कष्ट रही मते माने एटी छाड़ू नांती बहुत असुविधार मो अछि एठी खाइबा पीबा बहुत असुविधार मो 2 वर्ष कटि गलानी आगे मो पिला सब ने बहुत हैरान होछनी आगे मो राज्य सरकार पाखरे एति अनुरोध करूची ଆଜ୍ଞା ମୋତେ ଟିକେ ଉଦ୍ଧାର କରନ୍ତୁ। ମୁଁ 2 ବର୍ଷ ହେଲା ବହୁତ କଷ୍ଟ ସହିକି ରହିଛି ଆଜ୍ଞା, ବହୁତ ଅସୁବିଧାରେ ଅଛି। ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଏତିକି ଅନୁରୋଧ କରୁଛି ମୋତେ ଟିକେ ଆଜ୍ଞା ଉଦ୍ଧାର କରନ୍ତୁ। ମୁଁ ସୁଦାନ ଆଲଫାସିରରେ ଅଛି। ମୁଁ ଯିବା ପାଇଁ ବହୁତ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ଯାଇପାରୁନି ଆଜ୍ଞା, ମୋତେ ଟିକେ ଆଜ୍ଞା ଉଦ୍ଧାର କରନ୍ତୁ।
In his appeal video, Behera appears unharmed but terrified, pleading for release on humanitarian grounds. Behera's family has appealed directly to Odisha Chief Minister Mohan Charan Majhi and the Indian government for urgent intervention. Local officials in Jagatsinghpur say they are monitoring the situation, but no official communication from state or central authorities has been received yet.
एक हमारे यहाँ से 2022 में सूडान गए हुए थे अपने काम से रिलेटेड। तो सूडान में जब से सिविल वार चालू हुआ उसके बाद से वो वहाँ पे थे। तो कल ही हमें इन्फॉर्मेशन आया कि कल उनका जो वहाँ पे मिलिटेंट ग्रुप है उनके कब्जे में वो गए हैं। तो जैसे ही हमें इन्फॉर्मेशन आया, हमारा लोकल पुलिस उनके फैमिली के साथ हमेशा टच में है और उसके बाद उनसे सारा बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन, सारा डिटेल्स गैदर किया हुआ है। और जो भी इन्फॉर्मेशन गैदर किया हुआ है उसके बेसिस पे फॉर्मली हमने डीजीपी ओडिशा, हमारे इंटेलिजेंस डायरेक्टर को भी रिक्वेस्ट किया गया है, होम डिपार्टमेंट को भी रिक्वेस्ट किया गया फॉर्मली। वो फिर हमारे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट उसी बेसिस पे सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स और होम मिनिस्ट्री के साथ कोऑर्डिनेशन में है और हम आशा करते हैं बहुत जल्दी उनको सेफ्टी के साथ रेस्क्यू किया जाएगा।
The Ministry of External Affairs is reportedly in touch with Sudanese officials. But as the country's civil war rages on, Indians like Adarsh Behera faces danger abroad.
Ambassador Deepak Vora is joining us, and he served as the ambassador in Sudan as well. So he has complete knowledge of what is happening there. We also have in a few minutes, the Ambassador Vora, we have the wife, Sushmita Behera, joining us on the broadcast. But I'd like to hear from you and for you to tell our viewers what is going on in Sudan. When you look at the video, it's a heartbreaking video. He's captured by these terrorists. You will play the visuals full frame and you can speak over them. He's captured. He's clearly nervous. His family is seeing that video again and again. And the Indian embassy, the diplomats say that it's extremely critical right now. They don't know what can happen, what can't. They can't assure the family yet. But when you look at these pictures, first of all, what can you tell us about what is going on there? And secondly, how difficult does this situation pose to our diplomats?
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be on your channel. You're quite right. I served 5 years as your ambassador in Sudan. And when I left that country, I left my heart behind. I've been following very closely the trouble in that most unfortunate but beautiful country with lovely people. When I was posted there, sir, in 2006, 2007, Indian oil workers working in the oil sector, 5 of them were kidnapped. I was under enormous media pressure from Indian channels, as well as my government, to do something. Well, then I was in Khartoum. We had a government. The president, who's now in jail, Hassan Omar al-Bashir, was a great friend. I accessed him. I said, Mr. President, please help. So he asked his army chaps, he put pressure on them. Initially, the talk was whether we would go, I'm giving you the background, whether we'd go for an operation or negotiation. The military went in for an operation. 2 of our kids were killed in the crossfire. 2 managed to escape. 1, we don't know what happened to him. That's the background. Now what is happening in Darfur? Darfur has been in turmoil ever since the beginning of the 2000s. It's in the western part of Sudan. Sir, when Sudan split into 2 in July 2011, it was South Sudan that went separately. North remained what it was. Northern Sudanese considered themselves Arabs, and they said these South chaps are useless characters, they're African, they're black-colored, etc. Darfur is predominantly, in the Sudan perception, it's predominantly African because they are considered inferior to the Arabs, the tribes there. Now, the rapid support forces, I know the leaders. I know Burhan Alwani, who is the president of Sudan, so to speak, the chief of the army, and Mohammed Dagalo Hameti, I know him well, the chief of the rapid support forces. Who created the rapid support forces? The Sudanese government, to help them clobber two rebel movements in Darfur. But then, as always happens so often, that the rebels turned against the people who had created them. For a time after Omar Hassan al-Bashir was thrown out, he was indicted by the International Criminal Court for genocide in Darfur, killing Darfuris. And he was on record, sir. Forgive me for saying this. He was on record for saying that, look, my forces have been accused of violating Darfuri women. Is that a violation or a great honor for the Darfuri women, considering that they are dark and we are Arabs? That's kind of nonsense he talked. I'm glad he was indicted. He's now in jail. He's got cancer. He's in jail in Khartoum. Probably die in a few months. Then what happens, sir, is that the movement in Darfur is suppressed brutally by the rapid support forces. But then it keeps coming back, etc., etc. When Bashir is ousted, the rapid support forces and the Sudanese army form a coalition to govern the country. As so happens, look, the oil is mine. No, the oil is yours. Sorry, we'll share it 50-50. No, we'll take it 80-20, whatever. They start fighting with each other. That's the latest round that you're seeing. Now, where is the government of Sudan? They have shifted the capital from Khartoum has been taken by the rapid support forces. So the temporary capital is in Port Sudan on the Red Sea. I have friends that I talk to them. Relatively calm, but Khartoum is impossible. People open up with anti-aircraft guns and artillery pieces in the middle of the city. So what do? You expect your ambassador, as I was expected, get out and save these guys. I didn't have a military. I couldn't go in. I did the best thing that I could, sir. And I say this not with regret, but with pride. I told the rebels who had kidnapped our oil workers, take me as a hostage. These are kids, 27, 28, 29, 30. I was in my mid-50s. Take me and release these guys. And they did not, of course, listen to me, because taking the Indian ambassador would have been a major event. And then, of course, chaps in Delhi told me that, Ambassador, you shouldn't have done it because, now there's a storm brewing in Delhi against you. And I responded, I'm very glad I did. I responded, Tiger, I am the storm. I did what my conscience asked me to. Forget about your protocol, etc. I had to save these lives. So what can we do now with this kid in Darfur? First, let me tell you, I know these rebels from which tribe they belong. They're not going to kill him. Take it from me. They are very friendly lot. They have nothing against India. This kid has been there for 3 years working for some plastic company. We have been consistently asking our nationals, come away, come back to India because you're in trouble. I don't know what the reasons were that compelled him to stay on. I don't know. Really, I don't know what it is. But the fact is that he stayed on. He has been taken prisoner by the RSF because the Sudanese army has been booted out. Al-Fashir is a major city in North Darfur. There are 3 regions. And then they've taken him to Naila. Sudanese army is nowhere in sight. So it's the RSF that controls Darfur. And soon, I think, they'll take over all of Sudan. But they are not going to, they're not going to hurt this guy. They love India. We've done nothing to hurt them. We've stayed out of the conflict. But to expect that the ambassador will march in flying the flag and say, guys, leave this chap, otherwise I'll do this, that, and the other, that's being unrealistic. The best we can do, I just heard you say, we're in touch with Sudanese officials. Which officials? Sudanese government has run away to Port Sudan. They have no contact with these guys. They don't talk to each other. The best is the appeals, the kind of stuff, the coverage that you are doing, and other Indian channels. You, of course, do the best possible. You're the best in the world. And you particularly are outstanding. So what you are doing is bringing this to the notice of everybody in the world, that one of our chaps, one of our kids, one of our sons is kidnapped there. Take it from me, sir. If Mr. Behera's family is listening, मैं आपको यकीन दिलाता हूं कि आपका बेटा वापस आएगा. मैं 5 साल आपका राजदूत था. वो हमारे लोगों को नहीं मारते. अगर कोई मारता भी है तो कोई झगड़ा हो जाता है, यहाँ रॉबरी होती है. Otherwise, they have nothing against him. और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि within a few weeks आपका बेटा सुरक्षित वापस आएगा. भरोसा करिए, अपने आप पे भरोसा करिए, हमारी सरकार पर भरोसा करिए, हमारी डिप्लोमैट्स पर भरोसा करिए. We are the best in the world.
So one question to you, because there are global reports of genocide, of mass killings, of massacre there. Some satellite images also showing heaps of bodies in different parts of these war-torn regions in Sudan, right, including Darfur, etc. Now, what do you know about what is going on there? Because some of the Western media reports saying that the number of people killed there could be tens of thousands. Is there any information that you may have?
Probably hundreds of thousands have either lost their lives or been displaced. Genocide is a very strong term. They are not targeting an ethnic community. They're just targeting anybody. And many of these RSF fellows are from Darfur. They were created to kill the justice and equality movement and the Sudan liberation movement. I knew them all, sir. I went to Darfur at least 30 times during my stay there. They were created to suppress the rebels in Darfur. Then they turned against their masters. They're killing their own people. I don't know if you'll call that genocide. But they have taken control of Darfur. Now they are going to beat up the Sudanese army. They've already done.
Ambassador.
Sudanese army is North Sudanese, so-called Arabs. The RSF is primarily Darfuris and people.
Ambassador, can you hear me? Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt you there for a second. Sir, sorry to interrupt you there. The wife is joining me live, so I had to interrupt you there. The wife of Adarsh Behera, Shushmita Behera, is joining us on the phone line. So she was supposed to join us live, but there was some difficulty in getting her across live. So we have her on the phone line, so we'll try and go across to her. Shushmita ji, मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको?
हाँ, आवाज आ रहा है.
Okay. So सुष्मिता जी, आपका बातचीत ये कब लास्ट हुआ था आदर्श जी के साथ?
कल शाम को बस थोड़ा सा आया, बस इसका फोन आया था. बस इतना ही बोला कि रेड क्रॉस से ऑफिस में कैसा भी करके थोड़ा जाके कंप्लेन करो, ऐसे इतना ही बस आया और कल से फोन नहीं आया है अभी तक.
ओके. ये कहाँ पे है अभी आपका पति कहाँ पे है और उन्होंने क्या बोला आपको कॉल पे?
और पहले 2-3 दिन के बाद पहले फोन करा था तो बोला कि मुझे सूडान में जो अफ्रीका में उधर मीना जेल जो रहती है अल्फा सिटी में, तो ये उधर मुझे पकड़ के जो संतरासवादी रहते वो लोग पकड़ के इसका जेल में रख दिया है. और ऐसा वो दावी करती है कि जहाँ पे जो कि तुम्हारा जो इंडिया का एम्बेसी और रेड क्रॉस वाला रहती है तो वो लोग को बोलेगा तो हम लोग छोड़ेगी, नहीं तो नहीं छोड़ने देगी, ऐसा बोल रहा है.
आप सरकार के साथ बातचीत पे है, आपने रिक्वेस्ट भी की है डिप्लोमेट्स को, हमारे सरकार को उनको वापस ले आने के लिए. और हमें जो इन्फॉर्मेशन मिली है, हमें ये इन्फॉर्मेशन मिला है कि वहाँ का जो एम्बेसडर, वो सूडान का जो एम्बेसडर है दिल्ली में, उससे बातचीत की गई है. तो आपको क्या आश्वासना दी गई है और आपको क्या पता है जो बातचीत चल रही है उसके बारे में?
वो बस इतना मुझे बोला था कि हम लोग करते और क्या करेंगे, हम लोग काम पे लगा है, जुड़ा है, हम लोग ले आएगी, जितना जल्दी होगा इतना जल्दी तुम्हारा हस्बैंड को उधर करेगी, ऐसा ही बोला है.
ओके. सुष्मिता जी, हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए थैंक यू वेरी मच, बहुत शुक्रिया. एंड वी विल बी इन टच विथ यू एंड हम आपके साथ एक और बार बातचीत करेंगे कल. विल ट्राई एंड गेट हर लाइव. So we will move on. I'd like to thank Ambassador Deepak Vora as well for joining us live on the show. Thank you, Ambassador. We will reconnect with you tomorrow when we have an update. Let's move on now. And this is exclusive, ladies and gentlemen, getting you the breaking story of this man right behind me. This guy. His name is Mohsin Naqvi. He's everything that Pakistan cricket stands for, and he's a trophy chore. This trophy chore, Mohsin Naqvi, this minister in Pakistan called Mohsin Naqvi, might skip the upcoming ICC meeting amid the ongoing Asia Cup trophy controversy. The BCCI gave them a deadline. ICC has given them a deadline. These shameless people in Pakistan, including Mohsin Naqvi, are now trying to dodge the ICC meeting. He dodges the ICC meeting so that we don't confront him on the trophy that they have stolen. What a shameless country you have to be to do all of this, ladies and gentlemen. This is for real. This is a country called Pakistan that has actually stolen the trophy. And they're now trying to dodge it. Now, we have given them a warning, we've given them a deadline, and now they're dodging even the meeting so that they don't come face to face with the ICC. This is bizarre. I have Madan Lal, former Indian cricketer, joining us on the live show this evening. He's on the broadcast right now. Madan Lal ji, it's getting very, very bizarre. I mean, dodging meetings, evading deadlines. What do you make of it, sir?
Mohsin Naqvi is behaving like a childish, and as you know that, look at the Mohsin Naqvi where he's taken his Pakistan cricket. And dodging a ICC meeting is not going to make any difference to India. And even if he doesn't give the trophy, which belongs to India, but in the history is written that India has won the trophy on 25. But they are behaving like that doesn't have any sense because he belongs to a political party. He doesn't know about cricket, how to behave. But end of the day, what he is trying to do, अपने देश का ही नाम खराब कर रहा है वो, और किसी का नहीं कर रहा, हमारा कोई खराब नहीं कर रहा, क्योंकि इसने जब से एशिया कप शुरू हुआ है तब से लेके अभी तक इसने इतना का नाम खराब किया पाकिस्तान का. Even the Pakistanis are abusing him, and they're saying why he is there at that post,
Yeah. Now, there was a deadline that was given of 48 hours. There has been so much of back and forth. Now, where do you think this is going to end? Because they keep changing the goalpost every single time. Right, Mr. Madanlal?
Whatever they do is not going to make any difference to India, because whether they change the goalpost or not, because at the end of the day they have to give it to the BCCI. I don't know what to say about him, because this sort of guy should not be there in Pakistan. Pakistan has a very talented cricketer, but the way he's organized the things, is very difficult for Pakistan to come up. But only the people who can stand out, the players, But I don't know whether in their country they can stand out or not. But end of the day, he's making a fool of our own country.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Madanlal, for joining us. In fact, we spoke to the BCCI. Thank you, sir. We spoke to the BCCI. Here's what Devjit Saikia of the BCCI said to Republic TV's Prem. Prem tried to ask him a few questions on this aspect of Mohsin Naqvi, who heads Pakistan cricket and who also is the face of this entire controversy. He's dodging the ICC meeting. Here's what the BCCI said.
There are reports that Mohsin Naqvi is planning to avoid the complete meeting, and he might not join in and avoid the confrontation with BCCI on the ICC meeting.
Coming or not coming, let us see. Comes, we have a different agenda. If he don't come, then also we'll have to raise the issue. Raising the issue does not need his presence.
So BCCI will raise its issue on its part, right?
We'll raise it irrespective of who is in the meeting. At the appropriate forum and at the appropriate time, we'll raise the issue and we'll pursue it very vigorously.
There are reports that Mohsin Naqvi is planning to avoid the complete meeting, and he might not join in and avoid the confrontation with BCCI on the ICC meeting.
Coming or not coming, let us see. Comes, we have a different agenda. If he don't come, then also we'll have to raise the issue. Raising the issue does not need his presence.
So BCCI will raise its issue on its part, right?
We'll raise it irrespective of who is in the meeting. At the appropriate forum and at the appropriate time, we'll raise the issue and we'll pursue it very vigorously.
That's it on this edition of This Is Exclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the show tonight.
Bollywood's